Hello, everyone, and welcome to a Chip Off the Old Block Toys. I'm Jeff. Today, we're going to start part 2 of building set number 910042. This is one of the sets in the Bricklink Designer Series 3. If you know, I bought all of Series 1 and I think just a logging train of 2, but I bought all 3. I bought all 4. 4 is not here yet. But this set is 3,506 pieces and 2 minifigures. We've got bags 1 through 10 done yesterday. I have bags 11 through 20 laid out on the table. If we have enough time, we'll go a little further. But for right now, that's where we're going to start. And let me turn this off. Speaking of this, I just got an email. Bricklink Designer Series 7 finalist live review. So they just released what's going to happen in Series 7. We do have Greg backstage. I'll bring him forward in just a second. I just wanted to say sorry about the time issue here today. The day of daylight savings is always off. And I swore I put 1 o'clock, but unfortunately I picked 11. And I know a couple of you were here. I saw it in the comments. Cubnan, I'm sorry if I missed you all together. It was totally my mistake. But, and to anybody else who showed up 2 hours ago, I apologize. Hit that like button, subscribe. Let's switch camera views. Let's bring Greg forward, and we're going to go ahead and just continue building this thing until we can get as far as we can, and we can't go further. Hello, Greg. How you doing?
Nothing much. How about you?
Not much either. I kind of just woke up and kind of having a lazy day so far. So how about yourself? What have you or what haven't you got done this morning?
I just chilled this morning.
Okay. Yeah, kind of the same as what I did. I don't know if I told you guys, one of my favorite things to do when I go grocery shopping is to buy this 8. It's usually 8 pieces. Sometimes they give you 9, but it's an 8-piece chicken that's already cooked, and it's got a little bit of breading or whatever on it. And well, I used to buy it for me, and then I started sharing it with Enzo a while back, and well, I don't eat it anymore. Whenever I buy it, Enzo just gets it. So I gave him a piece of I gave him a chicken breast this morning, and it only lasted about 3 minutes, if even that. It's gone. So
How many bags are there total?
I think 50. I want to say 58. It might be 56. I can't remember, but it's in the mid to high 50s.
Wow.
Yeah, this is insane. But I love this set already. It's one that I hope I can just display it and not have to wreck it right away.
You had to put it in a very protective box.
Yeah, I will. I don't know. I'm probably going to end up just disassembling it right away because of the move. But yeah, you got to do what you got to do. So I don't know what the future holds.
So, how's Max doing?
Oh, he's doing pretty good, actually. When he first came home, he was being a bit of a butthead to me. He was hissing at me and acting like he didn't know who I was. And then yesterday morning, I opened my door to let Enzo, out. And when I came back after letting Enzo outside, Max was laying on my bed being all cute and wanting to be pet. So I think he's over the initial shock of coming home. He's doing pretty good. He likes to be held a certain way, and if you hold him that way, I guarantee he'll purr for you. And I did that yesterday. I was downstairs in the basement taking care of a few things, and Max came down there to visit me, and I held him that way, and I probably held him about 10 minutes.
He's just a big baby.
He is.
He's a big baby.
He's really, I mean, honestly, he's an unusual cat, because you know how cats have a reputation of only wanting attention when they want attention. Well, that's not
Yeah.
Max. Max wants attention as much as he can get, as often as he can get. So he's a little bit peculiar, because I had my cat, and I don't mean the kid's cat, I mean my cat that I had before him was named Will. And I used to tell Will he was a cow because he was mostly white, but he had some black spots on him, just like a dairy cow does. And anyway, that cat was very loving, but he only wanted attention when he wanted attention, and he made sure everyone knew it. So, all right.
Where at Texas you going to move to?
Near what used to be Fort Hood.
You gonna move in with Mrs. Chip?
That's the plan for right now. I might find myself in an alleyway, though. Who knows? Oh, this does not want to go in. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. This thing's very fragile. Oh, see, yeah, I say that, and look at that. I'm pulling it apart. Yeah, that's the plan. Ossia is, for right now, living close by, but Ossia's dad is in the military, so no idea because of that how much longer they have in that area, which is one of the reasons that I really want to get there. So I am close by, and I'm able to see her. I'm hoping I'll be able to see her like once a month, at least, if not more. But, you know, life is life, and it's always up in the air. I'm just making sure. They gave me a ton of pieces like this leaf, and I cannot locate it. Hey Ken, how you doing? It's been a while since I've seen you.
Is the IRS going to transfer you?
No. With the hiring freeze, I'm kind of SOL on that. If I leave, I have to resign. So, and honestly, I'm kind of really over it right now. I mean, I like working there, but I have to say the stress of working there is a bit much. And that's because, I mean, like, we're always hearing stuff in the news of, you know, impending layoffs. And I mean, I'm not speaking officially for the IRS in any capacity here, but what bothers me is that most of the time the news is correct. They said they were going to lay off 1,000 people in the Ogden area where I work. And what was it, 3-4 days later, they laid off 1,000 people. So it's kind of disturbing to hear all that and to hear it every day. The other thing too is that, and by the way, we're on another bag. We're on bag 12. And that's kind of the problem is right now, there's a lot of rumors circulating in the media. And, well, so far, the rumors have come true. So it adds stress when we hear stuff. Well, for me, it does. Because they're talking about in the media, not the IRS. The IRS is not saying anything. But in the media, they're saying that they're closing one of the buildings down there. And that kind of bothers me. And I don't know why. Why am I not able to? There we go. It's like wondering why I couldn't do this. There you go. I got it now. And if they close that building, that means there has to be more layoffs. So, well, it doesn't have to be, but I don't know where they're going to put people. And I have to be very careful because the IRS just got through telling us Friday to make sure that if we speak about the IRS off the job, that we make it clear that we're not representing any official opinions of them. And this is just my I'm not representing anything. No one's told me anything. These are just my opinions and kind of me reading between the lines. And so far, the media's been right every time. So yeah, every time I hear something new, it's like, oh boy, I hope this is the one time they're wrong,
How's your family processing your move?
They actually don't know yet. And none of them watch my YouTube, so I'm safe.
What about Amanda?
She doesn't even know. The last time I like for instance, when I moved up here, I got a lot of crap from my family for moving up here. And then when I was going to move to Texas before, I got a lot of crap from them. But here's the thing. It's not that I don't love my family. It's just, I guess, my way of approaching things. And let me tell you a little bit of background here. Like my kids come to me for advice a lot. And I have never been one of those parents that gives advice and gets mad if my kids don't listen to my advice. And I'll tell you why. My thing is this. At the end of the day, whoever I'm talking to, whoever I'm giving advice to, they're the ones that have to live out whatever decision is made. So whatever good or bad comes of it, they're the ones that have to deal with it. So that's why I don't get upset, and that's why I have a more of a live and let live kind of attitude. My family doesn't. They think you should listen to whatever they say, and I'm to the point where I'm tired of listening to what other people think I should do, and I'm going to do what's going to make me happy. And okay, let me share with you one of the major reasons, besides the family, being with Mrs. Chip, being next to my granddaughter. Those are all great things. But there's one thing I haven't discussed on my channel of why I want to move. I did the math. I am fighting compound interest right now because I have a mortgage. And it'll take me another 27 years with minimum payments to pay it off. And I'm going to pay an extra almost $300,000 besides what I already owe. And which I owe 400. Well, I don't owe 400,000. I owe like 385 or something like that. So I'm going to end up with about $600,000 in fighting the interest, and then I'll have a paid off house. I did the math. If I sell this home and I buy a smaller home, not much smaller, but smaller in Texas, cash, I'm not fighting compound interest. I'm gaining compound interest. And if I do that for the rest of the life of the loan, 27 years, at even nominal dividends, interest rates, a combination of them, I'll end up with over $5 million instead of paying money and just having a paid off house. And then I did the math further. And if I say keep that house in Texas for 5 to 7 years, and then I move back to this area, I can buy a house cash. And it only takes 5 to 7 years. I say 5 to 7 because my calculation said 5, but I'm allowing some room for for lack of a better word, for shit to happen. Because we all know that just like Forrest Gump, it happens. That's one of my favorite lines, by the way. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that, is that it just, no matter what angle I look at it, staying here just doesn't make sense. And then plus the fact that one of the things that got me to want to move from here is the timing issue. The fact that, I don't make that much at the IRS. I don't want to discuss what I make, but it ain't much. And I really mean that. I was making more than twice that at the hospital just a year ago. So I have to commute very far to make very little, and no one enjoys the house because it just sits empty all day while I'm working very far away just to have enough money to afford it.
Mm.
So it doesn't make sense that way. And plus, my truck's getting old. I'm almost at 200,000 miles on it, and to go to work and back is 140 miles a day. So I'm just piling the mileage onto this thing, and I barely have enough money to afford what I have right now. So I'm not trying to cry me a river here, guys. I'm just telling you my decision process making. I accept responsibility for my choices. That's why I'm making new choices. But I'm basically running my truck into the ground, and I have no means or way to buy another vehicle at the time right now. So if that truck breaks, I'm kind of SOL. And I don't want to buy another vehicle right now. I want the next vehicle I buy to be with cash. So that was another reason to stop this madness of the commute and to do something different. So all things considered, and I've already mentioned the biggest reason, and that is spending time with both Mrs. Chip and the granddaughter. Something that I haven't been able to do much of the last couple of years. So there's lots of reasons. And there's another reason too. There's not many jobs out here at all. And so it affects Spencer too. So by moving to an area that's well more established, more people, there's going to be more job opportunities for both Spencer and I. So the list of why I'm doing it is long and endless.
At least you can go to HEB for first time.
Oh, yeah. Actually, my wife likes to shop there. And we got a question here from, is it Fazzy? I'm sorry. I'm not good with names, but it is important for me to get it right. How do you get these sets? Now you'd have to get it from the secondary market. But if you let me switch. Let me share my screen. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Oh, how do I? Sorry, I'm not that good. Okay, so it's on Bricklink, and this is the Series 3. They've already produced them, but there were 5. There's usually only 5 sets to each one of these series, and I was fortunate enough that you guys bought enough off my Bricklink store when these were released that I was able to get all of these. So right now I'm building the first one, and that's the Lost City right here. This one I think is going to take 2 more weekends because weekends is the only time I can do live streams. But we've got the Forest Stronghold, which I'm really considering building that one next. And this one looks really great. Oh, and I'm sorry. Let me get back to what your question. If you're a member of Bricklink, which is free to join, they'll send you an email about 2 or 3 days. Well, they'll send you an email way before that saying, hey, Series 3 is coming out. And then they'll send you an email about 24 to 48 hours before the window opens to buy these. And they'll remind you saying, hey, it's coming up. And so you go on there and you just order these. And then it takes, I think Series 1 took almost a year. This time it was much quicker. It seemed like it was only 4 or 5 months. But Series 3 came out. Series 4, I don't know if you can still buy or not. No, you cannot. It's over now. Just as crowdfunding is over now. I was able to, again, you guys were very generous in buying from my store, and I was able to get one of each of this series as well. Series 5, these are the finalists. And it opens up on June the 10th. There we go. So, and then I think Series 6 has also been, yes, it has been selected, and it's going to be October the 6th. And you have to get on here because if you don't, They typically do sell out within 24 to 48 hours. Sometimes I've seen them sell out in just 2 hours. So yeah, and then they were saying something about Series 7. They haven't decided. They're reviewing it. So, and as you see, they have Series 8, so they're planning on doing this for a while. So anyway, that's how you get those. Oh, where did we go? Everyone's disappeared. Oh, where's Greg? There he is. All right. I am not the best at doing the technical stuff behind here. I almost need to yell at my 6-year-old granddaughter to tell me to help me with my computer almost. She probably knows how to operate a computer better than I do. Anyway. And I wouldn't yell at her. She's a cute little kid.
Any plans for tonight?
Yeah, to borrow from Futurama, hookers and blackjack. No, I'm just kidding. No, I don't have any plans for tonight. We are done with yet another bag. The only thing I can really think of is I have plenty of sets that need to be taken apart. So I'm probably going to work on that for the majority of the rest of the day. I can't do live streams except for on weekends. So next Saturday, I like to do them late enough in the day that Greg can attend. So what did we do? 2 o'clock your time, which was 3 o'clock Eastern yesterday, I think it was.
Yeah.
So pretty much count on the same thing next weekend. At 3 o'clock Eastern, we'll do a live stream and continue this, and then also look forward to Sunday about the same time. We'll try and do that too. So just want to keep it moving. But I've got a lot to do. I was kind of upset because my riding lawnmower, my first time I ran it out here 3 years ago, I sat there and I popped a tire. And I went back to, what do you call that? Tractor Supply. Bought it.
I got something coming up.
Okay. All right. So what had happened was I bought a tire from them to replace it, and it was $90. Okay. I'm at Walmart yesterday looking for an oil filter for my truck because it's time to do the oil. And get this. They have the same exact tire, same exact tread, size, everything, and they only charge $35 for that tire. Well, the good news is I need another tire because I popped it again. For those who don't know, the area, the house that I bought was definitely a handyman special, and the guy who owned it before me was a bit of a hoarder, and I'm being generous. He actually was a hoarder altogether. There were 2 abandoned buses on the property. There were several cars abandoned on the property. And when he left, he did not take a lot of it with him. I had to dispose of it. So there's a lot of glass, shards of metal, all kinds of stuff, because this was almost a mini salvage yard here before I bought the place. So anyway, with that in mind, that's why I keep going through tires. My brother-in-law was nice enough to let me borrow a what do you call that? A magnet, and it's a really powerful magnet. And I went through and I picked up as much as I could, which is why it's been 3 years since I popped another tire. But it's still annoying because these tires are not cheap, and I'm tired of replacing. I've had to replace. This would be my second tire I've had to replace, but they're expensive. And the way that they keep, they're not just being like a small puncture in them, because it's shards of metal. It's just shredding the tire, and I have to replace it, which means I have to go to a tire shop. And first I got to jack up the thing, take the tire off, and then I got to go to go to the tire shop and have them mount it, which costs like, I think that's not too expensive. That's like $8, but still, I got to do it, and it's kind of a pain in the rump. But anyway, I got it all done. And I'm on, well, last time. I got to get it done this time. Well, we got, it's Sunday, as y'all know, and it's daylight savings times. I hope you guys weren't like me and you remember to set your clocks back. No, I did remember. Actually, I got a funny story about that. I was downstairs in the basement last night, and I was taking apart some Lego sets, trying to get ready for my move. And, well, while I was doing that, I told myself, okay, I want to finish this whole entire shelf before I go to bed. And I was so excited about it. And boy, was I making some decent progress on that. And, you know, I looked down at my phone, and it said that it was like 1:45 or something in the morning. And I was like, okay, well, I only got one more set left. And it wasn't that big of a set. So I thought, okay, I'll get this done and I'll go to bed. Well, I went ahead and I took it all apart. And then I looked at my cell phone, and it said that it was 3:30 in the morning. And I was like, what the heck? There's no way I've been sitting here for an hour. And I wasn't there for an hour and a half. I forgot daylight savings time automatically changes things on my phone automatically. So it really didn't take me that long. But anyway. And Mrs. Chip is asking about the paint job on the trailer. I have to say it turned out absolutely fantastic. It looks great. I had it sitting in my shop for a while. I took the trailer out of the shop last weekend to move Spencer's stuff up here. And, well, Spencer hasn't unloaded the trailer yet, so it's still sitting in my driveway. But as soon as he's done, I'm going to put it back in the shop to protect it. Okay, so that's another bag. We're on to another bag altogether. So let's go ahead and let's get that done. And while we're waiting, let me pull up. Oh, does not. Oh boy, this thing's acting weird. All right. And speaking of weird, we have news of the weird. And these are always my favorites. I heard a couple good jokes this week. However, I'm pretty sure YouTube would not appreciate those jokes. So I can't really tell them here. All right. Well, that first story, kind of dumb. I'm not sharing that one. I'll see if I can get to another story here in a minute. But yeah, it's always fun to move, guys, as you know. All right. Oh, this is interesting. So I guess we're building an ancient chair for the city. And as I was saying earlier, I came across a channel. Well, I've actually been a member of this guy's channel for a couple of years now, pretty much since he started. And it's the one Living in a Ghost Town. And the reason I like it so much is that not only has he bought an old mining town, Cerro Gordo, he's trying to restore it to a point. And that's kind of the thing that I like about it. But he does other videos that are semi-related. And one of the semi-related videos he did, and I mentioned this yesterday a little bit, is there's a group of explorers down in Mexico. And what they like to do on weekends, that kind of stuff, when they have time off, is they go exploring the jungle and they try to find ancient runes from the Mayas or Incas, and I can't remember which one, but they go out there and they try to find it. And how they get their sources is that they'll look at Google Maps and they'll try to like discern, okay, this looks like it's really old, and they try to find ones that are not tourist attractions, and then they'll go out in the jungle and they'll try to find these things. And they invited Brent from Ghost Town Living channel to go with them, and he did. He traveled down to Mexico and they went through the jungle to try to find some of the stuff. Anyway, I found it really interesting, and the reason I'm bringing that up is that what I'm doing here, building this lost city, it reminds me of it because it's an old, supposed to be an old ancient rune, and just find it fascinating. And this is not based off of any real rune as far as I know. So kind of the same, kind of the same idea. And I would love to hear in the comments if any of you guys were able to get this set, and if you were able to put it together yet, that kind of thing. Or tell me, is it something that if you don't have it currently, do you think it's worth getting? Do you plan on getting it? One of our regulars, I don't see her today, Janet, she got a hold of me through Facebook and let me know that she has it. And she was, at the time, it was, I think, Wednesdays when might have been Thursday, I was talking to her. She was a little over halfway building this thing. So anyway, I know at least one of you got it, and I like it. I mean, I'm not even done with it, and I like it. I like this water thing going on here. And I think I've told this joke before, but it's worth telling again. And that is, speaking of water and ancient runes, the amazing thing about the Titanic is all these years later, the engineering has been great. The pools are still full of water. All right, so what do we have? We've got News the Weird. We've got Wait, What is the title? And it says the owner of a Brazilian restaurant in England was stumped on February 20th after a sink worth 150 British pounds disappeared from the women's restroom. The Manchester Evening News reported. The theft was noted during a routine bathroom inspection, said Robert Melman. And when staff reviewed the CCTV, they saw a woman come into the restaurant, head straight for the bathroom. Moments later, she walked out with something big in her bag. Quote, I have had several people steal lots of things over the years, close quote. Melman said, but, quoting again, never something like this. This is quite unusual, and all we could really do was laugh. And I would have to agree. It's almost like the joke, everything including the kitchen sink. Why you would steal a bathroom sink, I don't know. But what's the old adage or saying that truth is stranger than fiction? Yeah. And speaking of that, I was watching some true crime. And I started to watch one, and it's that story of the lady actually up here in Idaho, the Daybell lady who her kids disappeared, and she got herself a boyfriend who was supposedly a prophet or something like that. And he said the kids were demonic and needed to go, and so the kids were killed. And I'm not saying that's a good reason. I'm only repeating what they said. Anyway, she did an interview where she supposedly revealed the truth. And I couldn't get much further than about 3 to 4 minutes into it because all this lady was doing was making excuses to justify what they did. And I could not stomach that. I'm a father of 4, and my goodness, how can you kill your own kids, let alone make excuses? And the reason that she did it was all for the love of a man who was clearly deranged. No, sorry, you're on your own, sister. I cannot follow that. And same with him. I mean, we've often seen in history these people that claim to be prophets or God himself. I mean, what was the name of the guy, the Branch Davidians over in Waco, Texas? Same thing, where he claimed to be some divinity of sorts and claimed that he had a right to screw other people's wives. I mean, what the heck? I mean, I don't remember reading that anywhere in the Bible where it was okay to fake being a god and you got the benefit of having sex with other people's wives. I have never understood how anybody falls for that crap. And yes, I am being judgmental right now because I think that is just really freaking odd that anybody would hear that and go, you know, I do believe that's a true man of God right there. Go ahead, have sex with my wife. I mean, that's just weird. Why? And so this Daybell thing, I couldn't watch but a few minutes of it, and I had to turn it off. So that went out the window. And what it is with people and children, I don't know, because I watched another story of a young couple. I think she was 23, he was 25, and they had like 4 kids, and they kept them locked in a room. And I don't remember who called. I don't even think they ever revealed that. But somebody called for the welfare of the children. The children didn't have clothes. And the cops, when they said you need to get some suitable things, clothes for your children, he searched for like 5 minutes, couldn't find anything. He had to call his wife. And of course, she found out the cops were there. So she rushed home. They were both arrested for felony child neglect and all that stuff. But anyway, just a true crime story I watched yesterday. And again, I found it really heartbreaking. I'm not going to say who, but I have a member of my family who I recently received a letter from the state asking if I could take care of their 4 kids. I cannot, so I turned it down. But it was a similar situation where the kids were not being taken care of. And it's a distant family member. It's not like an immediate sister or anything like that. But those situations always bother me because, in my opinion, children are the most vulnerable in our society. They really don't have much of a say about what happens to them. And there are other adults that are charged with their care. And when adults don't do it, that is very sad to me. And I'm not extremely religious, but I do believe there's a special place in hell for people who do not take care of children or abuse them. And that story really bothered me after watching it. So anyway, just thought I'd throw that out there. And this does not want to go on. There it goes. All right. I think we're ready for another one of these stories here. Okay, it's called What's in the Name? When Notre Null, spelled Null, which if you know in computer language, that basically means nothing. It's a 0. Oh, it says that in the article. Well, I said that because I used to build databases for the hospital. When Nantra Null, 41 of Burbank, California, tried to apply for a visa to attend his friend's wedding in India, she kept getting the same response. The computer cannot process the application. It turns out Null is a troublesome name when it comes to filling out online forms. Yahoo News reported on February 23rd that when Null is entered in a field, it essentially means, well, nothing. Jan Newell, a 75-year-old meteorologist, learned to reserve hotel rooms, adding his first initial to his last name. And security auditor Joseph, well, I can't pronounce that, whose vanity license plate reads Newell keeps getting random tickets from all over the United States. Modern software has addressed this problem, but not everyone has upgraded, one tech researcher noted. That was kind of a dumb story. I don't know why I read that. But anyway, there you go. Let's keep going here on building this. So in case anybody's wondering, when it comes to moving, it's quite the ordeal. You can't move very well sets that are built. So you kind of have to, well, not kind of have to, you have to destroy all your Lego sets. Well, that's kind of a problem for me because I'm not trying to flex here, but I own about 2,000 Lego sets. And not all of them were built, but a large chunk of them were. So that's what I'm starting with. I'm starting with a huge job of just getting all that done. So yeah. Let's see. That's funny. I got to read this to you. I just got a thing from supposedly Facebook. Facebook account alert. Final warning. We've detected significant violations of Meta's community standards on your account. You must complete the verification process within the next 48 hours to prevent your account from being permanently locked. Ooh, I'm scared. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's keep going. Don't need to give people like that my attention one more time. Oh yeah, I was going to do something with my phone. See, that's why I don't like phones, because I start off with the best of intentions of doing something, and well, yeah, okay, I get distracted. So let's see. Let's see if I can actually get through this without getting interrupted and forgetting what the heck I signed on here for. Let's see. All right. I got through it. Okay. Does anybody else have that problem where you open your phone and because there's a notification, you forget what you signed in for and you end up taking care of the notification, then you put your phone down and you're like, crap, I didn't take care of what I originally planned on opening my phone for. I do it all the time. Okay. Add another snake to this. And let's do this. It looks like this whole entire bag is just going to be some greenery here. Let's see. What the heck? Okay, okay. Let's do this right. You know, I've always wanted to do a jungle scene, but I'll tell you what, that just sounds expensive. Can you imagine buying all these little? You'd have to have thousands of this plant life. And I've actually thought about it, and I also want to do a under the sea with a big old coral reef in my city too. And God, I've started accumulating the parts slowly, but it makes me shudder sometimes when I just think about the sheer amount of money it's going to take. And I gotta be honest, I'm not so sure I'm ever going to have that kind of money to do it. So, but I'd love to do a jungle scene, love to do it under the sea. I'd like to do a big old ski lodge with a ski slope with an actual what do you call that thing where they take you up the mountain? Yeah, that's escaping me right now. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of what I would like to do. So let's see what's going on here. Oh, nice. All right. Well, let's just keep it going. And just a reminder, guys, because I'm moving here soon and you're watching this on the replay, or if you're watching this now, I would appreciate if you needing Lego parts, if you head over to my store. There is a link in the description. Everything that I don't have to move is one less thing. And right now, I need a whole lot of one less things. This move is going to be just, it's going to be tough no matter which way I look at it, no matter how I try to conquer it. It's just going to be tough. So if you need pieces, I've got them marked down. I think it's 30%. You know, I could actually check. I've got things marked down quite a bit right now. So if you wanted some pieces, you need some pieces. My store is a great place to do that. And I do ship in most cases within one business day. That's most of the time. And why did it do that? Oh man, this thing's just one thing after another. Let me tell you. Yeah, my stuff's marked 25% off. So when I list my stuff, I list it right at the 6-month average. And then I've got it marked 25% down from the 6-month average. Now, I am going to mark it down if it gets too far away a little bit more, but I have to be honest, I'm not interested in marking it down too far because in the end, if I put a lot of time and effort into it and I need to get most of that back, and if I can't, oh, wait a minute, what did I do that for? Hey, John, how's it going? It's good to see you. Oh, you're on the phone with Rancor Steve. All right. Well, how's Steve doing? I need to call him back, by the way. Things have been kind of crazy lately. And I guess I need to send a message to Steve letting him know. I do need to let him know my new hours because he's tried calling me a couple of times this week and it's always been while I'm at work. And if you knew the office like layout, you'd know that I can't take calls. We literally, it's an absolutely open office. There's no like cubicles except for managers, which I'm not one, so I don't have one. And it's I'm like, if I did answer the phone, like everyone, I'm not supposed to, first of all, but if I did, everyone would be able to hear it because how open it is. So it kind of bites, but it's also kind of nice too, though, because then you're able to work on your stuff, you know, without interruption. And yes, John, I totally made a mistake. I thought I put down 1 o'clock, but I actually put down 11. Yeah, it was my fault completely, John. Okay, where does this go? Oh, right here. So I apologize for my mistake, John. I don't even know how I did that, but yeah. and watching the ball game. Who's playing? Now, based off who's playing, I know who you're rooting for. But let everybody else know who's your team. Okay, so we got another little jungle piece to do here. I really wish I could get my hands on a ton of those. That looks really cool. Okay, so we're done with bag 15. Let's jump to 16. Oh, it's just Yankees just lost spring training. Okay. And it looks like this bag is a bunch of greenery. So let's jump into this and get this done. And yeah. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, a Bricklink order came in this week, which means that I have some more parts for the Avengers Tower. I'm going to try to find time this coming week to do that. If I can't, well, I can't, but I'm going to try to get a Avengers Tower update this week in there. So hopefully that'll happen. I ordered, I think I only needed 40 of this one part. It was a tile, but I ordered 200, and I did that for many reasons. It's clear tile, so it's something that I could see myself definitely using later. Not only that, I don't mean to be a jerk when I say this, but it's the truth, man. I've just had probably some of the worst luck there is. Boy. Yeah, I'm missing a piece, all right. I'm going to steal it from over here. I've had some of the worst luck when it comes to ordering off of Bricklink. And, you know, wrong parts, wrong colors, not included at all, slow shipping, you name it. I've just had a variety of problems when it comes to doing that and ordering off Bricklink. And that's part of the problem. And when you're trying to do these videos and you want to do a regular update and you're not getting your stuff on time, or you're getting the wrong stuff and you got to order it again, and the next guy takes 10 days to ship, it does make it hard to give you guys regular updates on that. And so sometimes when I see a part that I know I'm going to use later like that, I'll go ahead and go overboard, and I will buy more than what I need just so I don't have to pay the shipping again, and I don't have to wait and hope that this other seller that I'm buying from actually comes through and delivers what I ordered. And you know that I know it seems like I'm being kind of pretentious by saying this and saying it the way I'm saying it, but I'm really not. If you go to Bricklink Buyers and Sellers group on Facebook, you will see that's a very common complaint. In fact, there was one just yesterday from a guy where he was talking about the fact that, hey, you know, I ordered, what did he say? Like 14 orders or something. He said 4 or something have come in already, and every single one of them got something wrong with it. I'm not being pretentious, and I'm not exaggerating. Bricklink is a very weird marketplace. Yes, I get that it's not Amazon, because some people quit back and say that to me. Well, this isn't Amazon, you know. Well, I get that it's not Amazon, but you know, when you buy something off the internet, you expect it to get exactly what you ordered, no matter what platform it is. So quipping back with, oh, well, that's just, this is not Amazon. It's kind of a, I mean, what kind of argument is that? So anyways, it is a problem, guys. And actually, you know, I've said this before, but for those who have not heard it, that's the reason I started selling on Bricklink, was we were living in Germany, and this was 2007, 2008, and I was living in Germany, and I had some time on my hands, so I started taking my Lego sets and I started putting them together, and I knew I was missing pieces. And when I first started putting them together, I didn't know Bricklink existed. Well, I went on eBay and I ordered the parts that were missing as much as I could, but it was kind of hard because eBay is not Bricklink, and you normally have to buy a bag of at least 100 if they are on there. And it was getting kind of expensive, and I ordered from this guy. He delivered like he was supposed to, and then from there he included a business card that said, "Hey, check out my Bricklink store." And I didn't know what Bricklink was, so I was like, "Man, this is pretty cool. I gotta check this out." So I checked it out, and I was like, "Wow, this is really, really freaking cool." And because you could buy 1 or 100 pieces depending on who had what, and I was able to go ahead and do that. I ordered all the pieces that I needed to complete all my sets. And I was really excited about it until I got the orders, because I put in, I think it was 12 orders, and almost all of them had something wrong with them. And so I had to end up reordering from other people, hoping that I'd get it. And it just took, it was very expensive with the shipping and all that. And I ended up not getting everything. It took several tries, and then I got everything. And when I was looking at that, I was like, that's a really good way to make money, is to acquire my own pieces, sell it online, and give people exactly what they order. And because I think it was 12 orders and 10 of them were wrong, I'm pretty sure those are the numbers. I'll have to look. I wrote it down somewhere. And I'm pretty sure that is. I ordered 12 different orders, and 10 of them were wrong. And I figured, since the error rate was so high, that if I sold on Bricklink and all I did was make sure that I got the orders right, I'm going to stand out just because of that, which is pretty sad, because it's like, you're, to me as a seller, just giving people what they ordered is like the bare minimum. So, that shouldn't even be an issue. If you can't deliver on what was ordered, you really should not be involved in selling. And I'm going to say that and stand behind that too. So yeah, I said to myself, if I just create a store where I deliver on people's expectations, I'm going to make a lot of money. And I will tell you that the time that I started making, when I started putting together a store, Mrs. Chip and I financially were not in a good spot at all. We owed a lot of money to a lot of different people, and I was actually considering bankruptcy at the time. And well, I started selling on Bricklink and doing what I thought was the bare minimum, and it took off. And I ended up with $78,000 in orders my first year. And I started on April the 30th, the last day of April. And I ended up with that much. So it ended up being a very good thing to sell on Bricklink. And I've enjoyed it since. In fact, my house in Layton, that's how I came up with the deposit money for having the house started, was, again, Bricklink money. So it rang true. And John says, spring training, daylight saving messed me up. It messed me up too, John. I shared the story a little bit earlier, but I was down in the basement, and I lost track of time because I told myself I wanted to finish disassembling this last set before I went to bed. And I felt like it wasn't that long, but I started at 1:45, and as you know, the clocks turn over at 2. And the next time I looked down, it said 3:30, and I was like, there's no way that I was down here that long. And, I forgot that the phones automatically update, so I wasn't down there that long. So it messed me up too, and I had every intention of going to bed earlier too, and I just didn't go to bed on time. I ended up staying up way later than I should have. So But how did it mess you up, I should ask? Because it messed me up too. Okay, let's see. Is this all we got here? Just a couple of these little pieces? Yeah, this is all we got. Okay, well, we've got 2 more bags after this one, and then I'm going to call it a day. And that'll be through bag 20, which will be a good start of getting this done. I'm liking it already. When we started today, this was the highest point right here. So we've gotten all this done and this over here done. And I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but there's a lot of little pieces to this. So it's a bit more involved than I thought it was going to be, but I am not complaining. I actually really, really like this set. It reminds me of Indiana Jones and also the Incas and what I was talking about earlier about Brent with his channel, Living in a Ghost Town. I really think that is absolutely cool that Brent is able to fly down to Mexico with a group of like-minded individuals, and they go and explore ruins and try to find them. And they actually did a really good job. A storm came through, so they had to kind of, I think it was a hurricane that came through, so they had to stop doing their exploring, but they still found some stuff. Okay, let's see. On the phone with Natalie, she has 2 weeks and she graduates. Well, that is absolutely awesome. I'm happy for her. And yeah, I can't say anything too loud because I don't know how loud Miss Chip has her phone or the computer, I should say. But yeah, it's been pretty neat experience to have a daughter going through officer candidate school in the Marines, and she's doing really well. And I don't know. Oh, there it goes. Let's see. I have to be this is very fragile, and I don't like the fact they did this now. They should have put this on there earlier because this does not want to stay up. This is very fragile. Hearts for Jeff. Okay, darn. All right, well, I don't know what that's in reference to now. Sorry, I probably waited too long to look at my comments. But yeah, Enzo's doing pretty good. He got a little bit of chicken this morning. Spoiled rotten little dog, or big dog. Sorry, guys. I don't mean to yawn at you. I'm tired. I would I would like to watch some older movies. I don't know how to watch them though. And it just seems like everyone has their own streaming service, and I don't feel like paying for 6 different streaming services just to watch what I want. That seems like another small footprint. Yeah. I agree. Oh, put the wrong color down. Let me take care of that. So yeah, oh, wait a minute. What did I do wrong? Yep, I put the wrong color. Let me change that. I'm like so afraid to push down on this. It goes down every time I press on it. So yeah. After this today, we'll be disassembling more Lego sets and just getting things done around here. I did do some cleaning this week. As you guys know, having a dog like Enzo, means lots and lots and lots of dog hair, especially this time of year because he's starting to shed that winter coat. And I can't find his brush, which is really bothering me because that brush does a really good job of getting that undercoat like just gone. Excuse me. And I don't want to buy another one because I don't know if you guys have the same luck I do. You'll look and look and look for something. You can't find it. You finally give up and you go buy another one. And then I guarantee within a couple of days, you're going to find the original one. But if you wouldn't have gone out and bought the second one, you would have never found the first one. I don't know if anybody else has that luck, but I definitely have that luck. So that's why I'm kind of holding off on buying that brush from him, because I'm just hoping against hope that it shows up so I don't go through that whole entire ordeal. And hello, what's up? Never too old for Lego. Hit them likes, Brickers. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I hope people do hit the like button. So anyway, how you doing today? Never too old for Lego. And what is your current project you're working on? We are done with yet another bag, and we are on 19. And 19 is actually one of my favorite numbers, and that's because the song by Paul Hardcastle, in Vietnam, he was 19. I really like that song. I mean, some people find it annoying, like Miss Chip doesn't like the song. And she doesn't like it because of the beat and the way that it keeps repeating itself. It kind of does sound stupid, but I like it because how it represents things of the hell of war, basically. And it goes through a guy who was in high school going through Vietnam and becoming a totally different person. It's kind of what the song's about. Anyway, I like the song. And by the way, the whole premise of the song is wrong, because it says that in Vietnam, the average soldier's age was 19. It actually wasn't. I actually read somewhere, I'm going to look it up because I thought it was like 24. Oh, God, I just got shocked touching my computer. Oh, that's cool. I'm doing a Macross Robotech SDF1 and Bumblebee Prime, and tomorrow I'll start my mystery. Oh, that's awesome. And do you have your own channel? I don't remember. Okay, so according to what I'm reading on the internet, the average age was 23 years old. They do talk about how the Paul Hardcastle single 19 contains many samples of people being 19 years old, but the average was 23, is what it's saying. Okay, interesting. Oh, same name. Okay, awesome. Check out his channel, guys. I know some people are able to put links on here, some are not. If you're able to, you are welcome to. And if you're not able to, I'm sorry. I don't know. Again, I'm not really good with this tech stuff. I have no idea why it doesn't work sometimes. I don't have it disabled. So if you're able to, go right ahead and put a link to your channel, please. And that's one of the things I hope to be able to rectify as well. My channel was doing much better when I had more time to do videos and stuff, but I just don't have the time right now. And my time that I do have for, what do you call that? For doing live streams, I used to be able to do them whenever, but oh man, my time is so limited right now. And I'm not trying to complain. It's just the way it is. And that's another reason why I want to move to Texas, is that I don't like this commute. I don't like going this far for work and then coming home. And I mean, I get home at 1:30 in the morning, and doing a live stream at 1:30 in the morning, that's not really going to work. So yeah. Oh, Steve's hopping in the chat. Well, I appreciate that. Okay, so I missed something because, oh, there it goes. All I have is time, so I stream every day. That's awesome, man. What time do you normally stream at? And just give us some context, like Eastern time, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I love it. I used to love the stream. I used to do it a lot more. There are two houses I'm looking at right now in the Texas area. They're both about the same price. And I mean, literally, there are $1,000 difference between the prices of the house. But one house is newly remodeled, and so everything is nice, which that appeals to me because if you know about this house, I went through hell and back to get this house where it is at. So doing another project house just doesn't appeal to me. But there's a house that's about 2,000 square foot, and I won't give the exact price, but it's basically $1,000 less than the other house I'm looking at, which is 3,000 square foot, a whole 1,000 square foot more. But that house, unfortunately, guys, it's going to be a project house, another project house. Bare minimum, I got to do paint and carpet before I can even move in. So I'm not so sure that I really, really want that house. I know I really, really want the price of it and the size. But seeing as I'm not really ready to move today, I'm hoping that something else hits the market by the time I get there, and that I will be able to get something a lot more, I guess, the correct word would be favorable, and not so hard, because I really, really don't want another project house. Having this project house just about broke me. So negotiate the price down, and I might. Okay, so I missed a few comments. Mrs. Chip says, I'm back. Natalie had to go. She's very excited for the next 2 weeks. Yes, my daughter will be done with her, what do you call that? Officer candidate school here in 2 weeks. And my daughter doesn't know, because I was not, when I first found out that she was going in the military, I was starting my new job, and I didn't think I was going to be able to get time off because I don't have the time. But after starting the job, I spoke to my manager, and I just told her why I wanted to go. And my manager was really cool about it. She's like, well, I don't normally let people take leave if they don't have it, which I don't. She says, but if you're willing to do leave without pay, I'll give you the time off and you can go see your daughter graduate. So I've done that. I bought my ticket, and my daughter has no idea that things have changed and that I can attend. And so that's why I didn't want to say anything, why Mrs. Chip was on the phone with her, because I wasn't sure how loud the volume of her computer was, and I didn't want my daughter to. I don't want to ruin the surprise. So I will be there at my daughter's graduation, and that is about a week and a half away. So I'm very excited. And John says, hi to Mrs. Chip, never too old, says, I stream at 5 p.m. Central every day and noon on weekends. Man, okay. Well, I'll tell you what, if I had more time, I would join you if you wanted me there. But you know what? I don't, right now, there's no way I can. Like, seriously, when I get off here, I'm going downstairs in the basement and probably going to spend the rest of my day. You know something? You actually are onto something there about the shipping containers. Never too old. Never too old says don't take the project house. Just buy yourself some shipping container offices. Put them in the backyard. I have a lug member, and her name is Leanne. And then she's not. It's not my lug, but you know the lug I belong to. And Leanne did that. Her house was too small, and she looked at remodeling and adding an addition. It was way too expensive. And so Leanne, in my opinion, did one of the coolest things in the world. She got 2 shipping containers and she had them delivered to her backyard, and side by side, her son's a welder, and her son did whatever he had to do to open them up. And I don't know the specifics of it because I'm not a welder, but he basically took 2 large containers, put them side by side, and he did whatever he had to do to make them waterproof in between. And she has herself a nice Lego like barn shop, whatever you want to call it. And it's just 2 shipping containers. And if I remember right, I think she only paid. They were cheap too. They were something like only $3 or $4 grand each, the shipping containers. So for less than 10 grand, she got herself a huge space, and it's waterproof and all that stuff. I mean, I think it's a great idea. And so I'll have to see if I can, when I'm looking at houses, that's actually an idea, something to keep in mind. Because what if I can get a property that has a little bit of a backyard that has the room to put shipping containers? And well, I'm not that far from the coast where we're going to be at, so it can't be that expensive. And it doesn't matter if it is. They put them on trucks and bring shipping containers everywhere, so you don't have to be next to the coast. In fact, my sister, who owns those 10 acres out in the middle of nowhere, she had a shipping container delivered out there about 2 years ago, and she uses it to store the building materials because they're having a house built out there. So not a bad idea, to be honest. So for less than 10 grand, get yourself a nice space. And it's not that hard to air condition those things. Oh, well, why did I do that? What did I? Okay, I put it in the wrong spot. And that's pretty normal for me to do something like that. Negotiate the price down. Bro, I've only had this time because 2 major motorcycle accidents, and the Canadian government will never let me work again. I would trade half my life to be able to work again, but Lego's fun. I am sorry to hear that about having an accident like that. Have they, by the way, I used to do medical billing for a major hospital system here in the U.S. And what I hated hearing, and I used to do work-related accidents, was the workers' comp is what I used to do, the billing for. And the term that I always hated hearing was when the doctors would say maximum medical improvement. And then if a doctor said that, the insurance company would quit paying for stuff. And I always hated hearing that term because they told my brother-in-law that after his accident. And he had to fight them to get further therapy, which he ended up getting it, which he has much more range of motion now than he used to. He's still not 100%. He never will be. But I think they called maximum medical improvement prematurely as a way to cut their losses on the expenses. And that's what I'm trying to say is I really sincerely hope they haven't done that to you, because I know that insurance companies like to play stupid games like that. In fact, on a much lower priority, I'm facing that right now, where my insurance company is refusing to pay for my CPAP supplies. And I've been on CPAP for, oh my gosh, I don't even know how long. Since 2011, so 14 years. And the military changed insurance companies this last year. And on January the 1st. And the new company is saying, well, we don't know why we're paying for supplies because you don't have a sleep study on file. I did my sleep study in 2011. You really think the other company was paying for 14 years without proof? Yes, they were. They did have proof. And yes, they were paying because they had the proof. Now, I'm just mad that when they changed contractors, they didn't pass along the pertinent information. And now the new company saying, well, you don't even have a referral to a sleep doctor. And so I have to go through the process of going and visiting my primary doctor, my family doctor, to get the referral to go to see the sleep doctor. And then the sleep doctor has to submit paperwork for me to get a sleep study, also I can get my CPAP supplies. It's a good thing that I don't burn through them as fast as they recommend, and I've got some leftovers, so I'm not without my CPAP supplies, but I'm going to be shortly if I don't get this resolved. So God bless those insurance companies. That's all I have to say about that. Okay, we've got bags 1 through 20 done here. Now it's starting to get exciting because now this is really taking shape. We've got a bunch of arches in here. We've got like a little gazebo here. We got something that over the years decayed and fell over. I'm not really sure what this is. But this is starting to look good. We got the throne kind of looks like here. Some water here. We got somebody who didn't quite make it. Yeah. I never too old. I'm really sorry to hear that because that's kind of what my brother-in-law went through. He was on the freeway and he was in an SUV, and some guy who was driving very erratically, 2 people called 911 here on him, and he ended up, the cops couldn't get fast enough to pull him over, and before they could pull him over, he conducted a pit maneuver on my brother-in-law's SUV because he thought my brother-in-law was going too slow. And my brother-in-law ended up losing control of the SUV. It flipped several times, ended up on the outer part of the highway or the freeway. And he is paralyzed permanently in his left arm. And his left leg, even though he was buckled up, the glass shattered on the driver's side door and his leg ended up outside of the window, and so when it flipped, it crushed his leg, and he's got like 6 plates in there and something like 18 screws. Anyway, terrible accident. It happened 10 years ago, and same thing. By the time everything was paid out, he was left with hardly anything, and he can't get another dime. So they're telling me there's existing injuries and I can't get paid for stuff, but I'm, those insurance companies, they like to do that crap. Existing, pre-existing, they've got a word for everything, and in the end, it just means you're taking it up the butt, and or getting screwed, however you want to word that. Well, guys, I'm going to take off here a little over an hour. I got this done. Next Saturday, same time, about 1 o'clock my time, 3 o'clock Eastern. I'm going to go ahead and do this. Never too old. If you want to get a hold of me, I do have a Facebook page called A Chip Off the Old Block Toys. If you want to coordinate, maybe I can find some time. I don't know, but I'd love to hear from you. You can get a hold of me through there and send a message, or my email is achipofftheoldblocktoys@gmail.com. All right, guys, hit that like button, subscribe, join in next Saturday at 1 o'clock. We'll do another 10 bags at least, and then next Sunday we'll do another 10 bags, hopefully. All right, guys, have a good one, and enjoy the rest of your day.